And we're live.
All right.
Welcome, Geoffrey, and welcome everybody to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this chat. Maybe we could start by you could just introduce yourself a little bit, what your background and what you're working on and thinking about these days.
Yeah, for sure. One quick note though, on the stream on Twitter, I don't see my own video. Is that an issue? Do you see that?
Huh, that is. Let's see. Let me
our
take a look at
thing.
that.
Maybe we should get that figured out.
Oh, that would certainly be a bummer.
Should I restart my video?
Let me view it on YouTube and see if it's. Yeah, I also am missing you. Yeah, why don't you just restart your. Maybe restart your whole tab.
Restart the tab. All right. Okay, I can reload. I'll be right back.
All right. Technical difficulties.
All right.
All right. Now we have to wait for the stream to catch up.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
All right. Amazing.
Great. Jeff is here. I'm not talking to myself.
I'm here. Where were we? What were we saying?
I was asking you to introduce yourself.
All right. Yeah.
Trying. Yes, go for it.
Hey, I'm Geoffrey. I'm currently a researcher at an independent research lab called Ink and Switch, and I research malleable software, which means enabling everyone to make their own software tools that do exactly what they want their tools to do and not what some company out there wants their tools to do. So we can have software that conforms to our workflows, not the other way around. And that's sort of how I met you, Steve, through that shared interest. And it's part of why I'm really excited about Val Town, which I feel like is a sort of the hot up and coming platform for exactly this kind of thing.
Yes, it's funny to reflect on where we both were when we met 7-10 years ago now. It seems recent, but yeah, it's awesome to see that we're each doing work like towards the same vision for so many years.
For sure, and I think it's a big and difficult enough challenge that many different approaches are needed. So
yes,
cool.
As Jamie says, let the end users program. The mission of Val Town is like very explicitly end user programming, and we even link to the Ink and Switch article. I've debated, it seems like your mission is malleable software, which is a phrasing I really like. Kind of gone with end user programming for its historical gravitas, but I don't think I would have done it without that Ink and Switch article.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've also called it end programmer programming at times, right? I don't know if you're still sticking with that keyword, but I think
end programmer programming is a strategy piece, like
to get there.
In terms of like it's a pit stop on the way to end user programming, and it kind of explains the reasoning behind why Val Town looks like it's not for end users. It's because it's definitely for end users who happen to already be programmers.
Yeah. This is a super subtle distinction, but I like thinking of people not as monolithic humans, but more as like people existing in some given context. If you know, so like specifically, like I'm a programmer, and in my job, I'm going to bring my full software engineer self and like be a good software engineer. But if I'm just messing around on like a side project, or I'm like in the middle of something else, I don't want to flip on my like programmer brain necessarily. I want to operate more as like just some person, and I feel like that's where platforms like Val Town I think can be really cool, because if you cut out 90% of the BS that's involved in setting up a new project and blah blah blah, then I can just sort of like focus on the fun parts. Hopefully, I guess we'll find out today.
Totally. Exactly. All right, so I guess now let's brainstorm some ideas. We have a couple ideas that we're excited about. What was the one? Oh yeah, something about getting off of Twitter.
Yeah, so we were talking a bit before the show about, I think some of the cool things that Val Town does that I haven't seen other platforms do as easily is like email related stuff, like sending me emails seems cool. And also just like scheduling something to run on a cadence seems like a useful thing. One thing I was telling you, Steve, is I'm definitely a Twitter addict, and I'm trying to find ways to sort of temper the addiction. And one of the hard things is like often people share really valuable stuff on Twitter. It's like a big source of information for me for my work. But the problem is like then I end up scrolling and reading shit posts and stuff. And so we were talking about, could we make like a thing that will alert me when people who if I care about someone's work, I should get notified if they share a project or some like a paper or an exciting link that they care about, but not if they're just like messing around and like writing jokes or whatever, which is like, I'm here for the jokes. It's just a different state of mind, and I want to decouple them a bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I think that's definitely something we can do in Val Town. I've written some Twitter queries from Val Town. It's always annoying to use the Twitter API in my experience, but
yeah,
that's like a good thing for us to bear the brunt of, and maybe we can smooth out the path for people behind us wanting to do Twitter.
Yeah,
API
I'm a little
things.
Nervous. I feel like using a clunky third-party API on a live coding stream is like be a fun challenge. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. Great. Maybe you could start by sharing your screen, and we could just get started hacking. Do we want to talk a bit about like what the first thing we'll build is? Like maybe we'll just start by getting, querying Twitter for some tweets.
That sounds good to me. I think when I think about the experience I want, roughly it's like, actually a long time ago, I once built a Twitter client that only updated once a day. And I think that was a nice experience of just getting like a daily or it could even be weekly email of like highlights. So I guess one thing that's tricky though is I think fetching my whole feed might be a bit challenging, whereas something you suggested, maybe we can start by just picking a few specific people to follow, which I think will be easier to manage rather than using my full feed. So I guess you have some nice API examples here. I think you have a Twitter search one, right?
So if you go to Twitter alert, and then Twitter
Can I try
search.
running this? I guess this is a Discord webhook, so maybe I should.
I would just like maybe fork it and then just like delete a bunch of stuff is kind of what you would do. I literally did this yesterday because someone just sent me a pull request for line 4 to get rid of retweets. Something I've been trying to do for a while.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll try running this and see what happens. I already installed a Twitter token for the show, so this might just run.
It might.
It did. As usual with these things, it did not just work, but that's okay.
Try one more time.
Normalize your.
I have a feeling that if you try one more time, it might just work.
Oh, it did work. What was up with that?
Like basically intervals for their first run are they have like a null last run at time, and so that may have been an issue.
I see. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yep.
So maybe just comment that out, or just put in a date that represents like the time from last week.
That makes sense.
I would do new date, and then inside new date, do date.now minus, and then have it complete. It should complete it for you. Yeah, great.
That's like 24 hours. This is, I think. So this is like one day, probably. There you go. We got some tweets. Although interestingly,
these are tweets about Val Town. Oh, and then it looks like the Discord. Like you should, you don't want to be posting.
Whoops. Okay. Interestingly,
so this is a list of people in the last day who posted about Val Town, because that's the query.
Very cool. So I wonder. Now I'm having all sorts of ideas. Like we could Twitter search is quite powerful. We could search for mentions of a particular person, but I think let's start with let's see what you've tweeted in the past day. So
I was also going to say it would like the reason I use this is because it's nice to know. It's really important to know when Val Town is mentioned on the internet, or like anytime anyone puts a link to a Val on Twitter, I know about it very quickly. Like geoffreylitt.com, or just like when people tweet about your website but don't tag you, that's a kind of a useful thing.
That is cool to know. Although I'm more interested when people share others. Like I feel like if you're running a company, though, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Trying to interpret. Can you just help me understand? Like, I guess this isn't picking anything up.
Yeah, I don't know how the Twitter search thing. I'm just looking at their docs. I don't know how their search works.
At Steve Kress, that seems right. Or maybe I need to do from this. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, looking on their API docs, it doesn't look like you need that. Maybe also look at my Twitter search function and see if that's surprising in some way.
Yeah, let's see. How do you recommend? Do I just? Oops.
Yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, I am doing a little bit interesting things there because I want an extra parameter. That's all should be fine. It should be fine, but we can drill into that if it's not fine. But I think that should be fine.
Yeah. I see. I wonder if we just search like. Okay, now we're well. Let's see. What do we want to actually do?
Go back to what you had before.
Like,
your thing was it did look really good from Steve Kress.
I think that's it. Like, and if I pop open your, I think I can. If I pop open this.
Oh yeah, I definitely tweeted in last week.
Okay,
and that is working. Oh yeah, we'd see this live stream in the results. That would be great.
That would be great. But when I run it, so
you get nothing.
This should be one day.
I guess.
What am I even getting as a? I see. There's logs. Maybe there's. I guess we don't have a return value currently. Maybe we can log the results too and see what that is. Empty array.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's it. No. Maybe
I need a space. Told you, man.
Maybe a third-party API. You need like a search query, like just try something and then also from Steve Kress.
Oh yeah, like search like. I just search for a string. Oh, you know what? What? Maybe we broke the start time. Maybe that's why it is.
I think the old query used to have like there were quotes inside of it, like escaped quotes inside of it.
Oh yeah, I did see that. You feel good about this start time?
Maybe if you leave off the start.
Yeah, we could try that.
Yeah. That's our time. I feel good about. Yeah.
Let's try the escape quotes thing. This is a lot of why programming is hard. Like I feel like let's back up and.
You can just go back to the that works.
We had this was working.
Yeah.
Except now it doesn't work, presumably because the last run at is like a weird.
Yeah. Get rid of that. Maybe just comment out last run at and that might work.
Okay. Now we're good. So we're gonna be good programmers and go step by step now. I'm gonna say like, let's take this should definitely work. No. What?
Wild.
Isn't that wild? How does that not work? But this does? Oh, I guess it's because it's probably just because we're missing like it's actually one of these other clauses that's hidden in the search or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Uh-oh. I need to kill this.
Yeah, we don't yet have ways to kill things.
Reload the page?
Maybe because it was matching on Val.town.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I think it was matching on one of them. Well, I can search for let's try that.
Or one idea you could do is just for fun is
that works.
You could add, oh yeah, that's good. So it'll match on a search and then space from : a user. So like what's something that you've tweeted about, and then put like that search query and then your username.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah, maybe queries, like it needs
Gemini.
to actively match something. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, because we're doing search. If you wanted tweets from a user, I think that's different.
Well, maybe there's a different API for that. Right.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Okay, well, we could try forking your Twitter search thing and see if we can get
ChatGPT would also be really good at this.
Let's do that.
It would probably do it on the first try. Yeah. What are we doing here?
That's a great point. So we could say, let me open up ChatGPT. Okay, I'm going to use a voice to talk to it maybe. So let's say, I'm trying to write a little function that grabs recent tweets from a given user and then returns them. Then we got some sample code to start from. So we can give it this thing as a starter. So we could say the basic structure is like this. Maybe we just give it your thing. We could also maybe give it the helper function that you wrote. What do you think?
Looks great.
And then we can say,
oh, maybe just say it's Dino.
Yep.
And that's it. Yeah, go for it.
And then at the end we can say, I think what we want to do is write a new version of the search function, which fetches tweets for a given user using a different API endpoint. So we'll write that first, and then we'll update our overall thing to use that, right? And then we'll ask me any clarifying questions first before you output code. All right, let's see what happens.
How are you getting your voice into there?
It's an app called Super Whisper. It's like a Mac app for voice.
I don't think it's showing up in the screen share.
It's not. Yeah, there's a little window I see on my Mac that shows up. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Maybe we can try this. This looks.
I have
looks vaguely correct to me.
Here, I can send you a link to a chat I had that's using this API. It's like api.twitter.com/to/user/by/username.
Okay.
Oh no, and then it does. So that gets like the user ID, and then it does. I sent you a link in the private chat. You could just go to the and then it goes to /user/user_ID/tweets. And now that I'm like seeing these API queries, I feel like I actually might have helper functions in Val Town that does these. I
guess this is a lot of the cool thing about Val Town is if someone's already written all this stuff, then you just call their helper, right?
Yeah, but we don't have good enough discovery for you to find.
Yeah, it kind of looks like this is exactly what we need, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think you already read this. Okay. Well, let me try. I can add a val for that on my end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make a new tab.
I'm seeing some good helper functions from the past on my. Yeah. I'll put them in.
So I just pasted your code in here.
Okay, nice.
I'm gonna see if that works. So let's see if it works for your tweets.
You want to do like, oh yeah, it logs it already. Great. You don't need to do that for environment variables. Just there's something to delete at the first 2 lines you just want to delete.
It's this thing.
Yeah, and the line above it. We won't need those.
Boom! Look at that. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So thanks for the helper function. We didn't even need ChatGPT. I guess, well, you already used ChatGPT to do it. Great. So now we have our helper. We should be pretty close now, I think. So we're going to say, let's see. I guess we need to give this thing like a list of usernames maybe. And we could run it. Maybe we'll start with, well, let's see. I guess we can just start with, let's start with you. And then we're going to loop over our usernames. And for each one, maybe we'll add to a, so how do I think, is this how I reference my other function there? Yeah. Look at that.
Once you accept it, it'll do it did the import for you.
It did the import for me. That was great. Nice interaction. Why is it red? I need to export from, you even got a good error message. Very nice. What is this thing? Like a real IDE?
Yeah, one day maybe.
Did it update? I think I saved.
I'm
over
gonna send
here.
you some other people that you will want in your list.
You know who I want in my list. I'll add. Yeah, I mean, we gotta start there. Okay. Let's just log some tweets to make sure that we're starting to accumulate some stuff. Let's see if that works. All right. Get tweets is an async function, so we gotta wait there, I think. And then the response we need to, this is actually a great live programming experience, by the way. For those who don't know what live programming means, we're just like trying stuff and seeing real data, which is a really nice way to work with APIs. Because like now I'm seeing what the real data is in there, and I can, looks like we messed up and like I need to get the .data array out of the response, I think. Yeah. So let's try that. And I'm going to log. I'm doing a lot of print debugging here, which I like doing for visibility. You guys should add some more live programming showing me intermediate results stuff at some point.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. The one thing that we have in that direction is that we send your logged data to Codium. So yeah, so it's like extra smart about what you might want to do because it knows the shape of your data.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah. Oh no, too many requests.
Oh yeah, I should have warned you, or I should have remembered. I didn't remember. But yeah, the Twitter API has such an insane.
Can I ask you a question? Like, why am I still seeing data here? Is that because is results some sort of like persistent variable by default or something, or no?
No. Maybe one of the requests succeeded, and yeah, one of them succeeded, one of them failed, maybe.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I guess we should be more parsimonious about requests to Twitter, and we should be caching things somewhere so that we can like have the data without remaking the request. Ugh. But it's not that bad. But it is something.
Maybe we'll give it a minute to cool down the rate limit, and in the meantime, I'll kind of clean up what I have here. So we could talk a bit about what we're trying to do, maybe. We don't need that Discord. So like, what are we trying to do? I guess if we run this thing on some regular cadence, at a minimum, we could try hooking up the email thing next. So like, at its simplest, it would just be like an email digest of reasoned tweets from some key people, and then we could sprinkle some AI filtering on it later or something. What do you think of that?
Sounds great.
Cool. Maybe we'll do some of that while we wait for this rate limit to cool down, and hopefully, man, I told you, third-party API on a live stream. It's an adventure.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me about the email thing. How does that work? Can I just call? I know it used to be console.email. Is that still the API?
No, the API is you write the @ symbol and then you just pick the email one that comes up. Yeah.
Perfect. Now I need docs.
It should be inline docs if you like hover over it or.
Oh, there. Now I got. I see. So it's 2 from.
Oh, you don't need to fill out the to field. That's like implicit. Yeah, right now you must want subject and text. I think is probably where you want to start. You could do HTML if you prefer.
Let me start by sending just a test email.
Maybe just comment.
Avoid this stuff for the moment. Okay. We can test that in isolation. I'm going to open up my email. Maybe what I'll do is I got the email. I don't know how to show it easily. I guess I could.
There's Gmail has a button to like pop open an email in its own window, or you can get a URL to that window and put it in here.
Yeah, I got it. Let me. Look at that. I got the email.
Nice.
That's so cool, man. I think this is one of the coolest features of the platform.
Nice. It's good to be reminded of it because I did build it 2 years ago, and it's old hat for me.
This has always been one of the. I feel like it's easy to host something that's only running when you're using it, like in a browser, for example. But having a cron job or having an email watcher or email sender is just a ton of work to do it from scratch, and so having it at hand like that is awesome. Let's go back. Where were we? Here we were. Okay, so our email sending worked. Maybe our rate limit has calmed down. One can hope.
Well, before we send it, maybe we could do like a caching strategy like that.
Yeah. That makes sense. Should we do that in get tweets or out here? We could do it in either one.
Yeah, in either one. Yeah, blob storage is pretty easy to use, but I just don't know because like, for example, if we just want to test data, we could just go into the logs and just copy and paste it in as a variable somewhere.
Sure.
And then keep hacking away. So we maybe should do that for now. And then if we ever need new data or like a new query, then we can.
I like that a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'll make test data with 2 users. I think we had Victor's API response was this, and then yours was this. Or sorry, yours was this. Good idea. Now we're no longer at the whims of their API. Okay, did I screw up the formatting? Yes, I did. Okay. So we got our test data. I guess I could put this in a separate val or something, but I won't bother for now. It's a little bit.
Oh, I don't know if you saw there was yeah there.
Actually, that's fine.
So
that's fine. These are issues in your printing function. Right.
Yeah. So maybe just double, like select the 3 dots and then like do Command D a bunch of times to get all of them, and then do like Command K to kill them all. That's what I would
do. Yeah. Hopefully that worked.
Control click. Yeah. Hopefully that works. Great.
I think I got it.
Cool.
We can test it by first. It is unfortunate that rate limits and things make it hard to access your own data. This is part of why I'm into, I want to mirror more of my stuff to local stores that I have. Like Alex Obenauer has been doing some cool work on syncing third-party data into your own storage so you don't have to deal with this stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. Yeah, like, and what if all of us in this world decide that we do this with Twitter and then like expose on our own servers an alternative endpoint? I guess that could make it even worse. Now you don't have to deal with Twitter's API, you have to deal with all of these, all of your friends' bespoke APIs.
I think it would be better if like it's not some random API everyone exposes, but it's like
a spec,
a standard. Like it should feel more like a database,
Yeah.
All right. So let's.
We're reinventing Mastodon.
I reran my thing, and I'm trying to return. Where do returns show up?
Returns don't show. Not anymore. Yeah, they used to.
Why is that?
Yeah,
it's like
in the context of a interval, it's like not obvious. Well, the short answer is people are used to, like, when you want something to show, you log to the console. So that's like the API that people use and are used to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it could show in this context.
I got my test data. I got your tweets and Brent Victor's tweets in an array. That's great. Now I think we're ready to format a little email and try sending it.
Cool. Do you want to ask? We could ask ChatGPT to like help us filter out the interesting ones.
Let's do that next.
Or do some other kind of filtering.
Let's see a basic email go through first, and then let's do the filtering. I like not only filtering but also organizing. I think could be cool, But baby steps. So now we got to make an email. I think you had suggested maybe stick to plain text is easier.
Yeah.
How do we do links?
I don't feel strongly about it.
I think I'm going to want links.
If you just put a link, it'll be linkified.
Okay.
But if you'd rather have it be formatted,
fair enough.
We can reach them out.
It seems like we didn't even get. We don't have URLs anyway, so I don't know why, but we can link it.
So one of my helper functions that, like the original helper function we were trying to get working, augments these things with links. That was like the whole point of that helper function, or part of it was doing that. So there's this weird thing where I think this is true, but anyway, so if you have a Twitter ID, you could do twitter.com/ any person's username / Twitter ID, and then it'll like link to the right place. But
weird.
I wanted that ID. So I think we like, you could try it right now. The ID.
It's
like
this helper function.
Just copy and paste the ID and go to twitter.com/ or x.com/ that maybe, or /Steve Krauss / that, and then I think you could change the username to anything and it'll still work.
That didn't work. Maybe there's an extra parameter we're missing.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, /Steve Krauss /status / that link.
Okay.
/ that ID.
Okay, that worked.
But you could replace it with your own username, and I think it'll still work.
It still works, yeah.
Yeah. So we can construct URLs right away. But it's just confusing. So just put like x.com/x/status/that as like a
Makes sense.
probably.
So I'm trying to get
What
back
I'm
to
doing in
I
that
lost my
helper
tab.
function
Where'd
is
my tab go?
in that helper function, I'm going to get the actual person who wrote that tweet's username to just make it like an actual URL that like seems better, but we could skip that step.
So here, let's make some text outputs for the tweets. So
ChatGPT Codium could write most of this if you get it started.
let's say loop over the tweets and make a nice text preview for each one. Do you think Codium will just kick in there? I guess.
Yeah. Maybe create the variable and then uncomment the email thing and like kind of give it the structure. Like have it and const text equals and then delete hello from Val Town. And then
let's try that. Come on, Codium, do your thing.
Maybe do space.
We can ask ChatGPT to fill it in.
It might be Codium is. Oh, you know what it is? The file's probably too big because we pasted in all that data.
Oh, that's so true. That makes sense. Just another day using a third-party API. Fill in the email text contents. I want a nice, concise email text snippet for each tweet. And then the overall email should have a section for each user with links to each tweet or something like that. Let's see what it does with this. We're being lazy end programmers. We don't want to program.
Yeah. Maybe your Elliot is in the chat, who just got here and wants to know what we're doing. I feel like it could be a good time to summarize the project.
Yes. Let's recap. For those just joining us, I'm trying to temper my Twitter addiction by having Val Town send me digests of recent things that have been happening on Twitter on certain people that I want to keep tabs on. And Steve had some cool ideas around hopefully, if we can get the basics working in a minute, we're going to add a cool AI filtering step at the very end where it'll filter down to like important messages or something like that. So we'll see. Where we're at right now is we're just trying to send an email with some recent tweets from people. This looks okay, except it looks like it's like doing some preview truncation. So let's give it some feedback. Just show the whole text. It's nice how short these vals are because ChatGPT can just spit out a whole new file real quick. It also looks like it is only using
it's getting the user
data, which is
well, it's giving we have the username already because that's like what we're starting with. So that's
exactly
nice.
This is a little weird because it's going back. It's not even using results anywhere.
Oh, interesting.
Let's ask it to use results because then when we stitch it back up to the actual API, then we'll I guess it's kind of dumb that we're putting everyone's tweets into a flat array. Maybe what we should do is like at the beginning of the function when we construct the results variable, throw a username attribute, username property into each of the tweets.
Yeah, we could do that.
I was voice recording, so hopefully it'll just do that for me. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good structure because later on we might not want to just group by username. We might want to do some other All right. This seems like a good thing to try. Let's try this. Let's just be live. And do I have version control? Can I just like replace this with without worrying? Can I get
Yes.
back to old versions? Okay, great.
Yes.
I'll paste that in and hit save. And console log the email text. Let's see what happens. Hell yeah, look at that.
Nice.
This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Maybe let's we can try sending the email now, and I'm kind of curious what it'll feel like in a real browser.
I bet I feel like my concerns about using HTML don't make any sense in the context of ChatGPT, because it's like just as good at writing HTML as it is at writing text, and HTML looks better. So
do we like this as a basic? This looks pretty reasonable as like a basic. The links work. It did markdown links, which don't even. Yeah, so why don't we ask it to, maybe let's make HTML links instead.
Yeah, and then pass it as HTML, not text. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll do voice.
Yeah, I guess you might have to teach ChatGPT about the email field on console. Yeah.
And then we pass it into a HTML attribute
Instead of text. Yeah.
What do we want the layout to be? Pretty simple, minimal layout.
Great.
I'll do a voice recording and say, use your judgment, make a simple, minimal layout that looks very vaguely like Twitter. All right.
You know, what we could do is we could get all the data as JSON and ship all the data to ChatGPT and say, like, return HTML of an email newsletter. Like, this whole thing could be an API call that happens every time.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, let the AI do the layout itself, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the filtering makes sense to do with AI. I feel like the layout, it's fine to do it with a function.
Have in there.
Yeah. We could have it write like summaries and stuff later, but okay. I'm just gonna hope that this works.
Great.
This is sort of the YOLO coding with AI move. Just let's run it and see what happens.
Yeah. I think it's pointing towards the future of coding.
Yeah, I mean, like, for something so simple, like, you know, we can just see, oh, look at that. That's really nice.
Nice. That's great.
This is great. This is way more readable. Good job, ChatGPT. And look, Brett has a new personal website. That's useful to know about. We can add some more goodies later on this, like dates and stuff, but this is really good. We can also add last run at filtering and stuff, but I like this as a start. Okay, nice job, Val Town and ChatGPT. Should we do a little AI filtering now to close things out? We have like 15 minutes, right?
Sounds good. Yeah. Do you? Yeah, I'm curious if you'd send like a request per tweet, or you send all the tweets and ask it to filter.
Yeah, let's see. What do we want it to do? I guess we could filter on. I definitely would do all the tweets in one request because that'll just be simpler. But sort of a question of, I wonder if we could get it to. So what I would do first is prototype the API request we want to do in ChatGPT. So we could.
Sure.
We could like
one thing. I feel like for speed
Mhm.
is you could send it all the tweets and then have it just send you back the indexes of the tweets, or like send you back an array of the reorderings. So you don't have to have it generate the JSON. Maybe that's a premature
Maybe.
optimization.
You don't need speed though, right? Because this thing's running in the background. So actually,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Let's try some filters. So like, let's say I want to hear about important tweets, sharing major updates, new projects, website, new papers or essays, website updates,
Filter out shit posts.
Shit posts, filter out jokes.
Filter out anything about like politics or
replies.
current events or.
Here's a list of tweets. Output. I think we can eventually have it just output IDs, but for debugging, just gonna say output a new JSON list that only contains the good tweets. Let's see what happens.
I think the main thing is, or a big thing I've had is making sure it only outputs JSON. No. Oh, yeah. Basically, no. Here's the filter JSON list.
We'll get rid of. Yeah, we can. We can deal with that later with JSON mode and the API and stuff.
Is that just a thing now? I haven't used JSON mode in the API. Whoa. You about to blow my mind here?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
You can also do other. You can use function calling to make that happen too. But yeah.
Yeah, I thought function calling was the way, but that's kind of funky.
I don't actually remember if I've used JSON mode personally. I've used function calling, but
wow, that's so easy. Oh yeah, I feel like I've tried this and maybe it wasn't great. I'm very excited.
Hey, check this out though. I think it worked pretty well. So it found this live stream tweet itself as an important thing, which of course this is very important. And then you were asking people to send you friction logs. That's a request to the community, I guess. And then Brett Victor launched a new website and talked about the new website. So cool.
Maybe you could ask it to give you the reason why it's included in the list. That maybe as a debugging thing, or potentially you could even say like, write a headline, write a subject for this email that's like clickbaity.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So maybe I'll say like, yeah, it could be like return a JSON structure. That's good. Now that includes a top-level headline for the entire results set, which is clickbaity and teases the contents. And then for each tweet, a very short blurb explaining why it was included. I don't know how well that'll work, but we'll see. We're just messing around. Exciting new projects and updates. Don't miss these major announcements. How much more generic could you get? Yeah. The blurbs aren't working either. Steve Krause announces an exciting. We don't need the blurbs. Tweets are already concise enough, but maybe let's have to like. Okay, well, try again and
are for like debugging.
Generic headline. I see.
Maybe that's not how it works. Like, yeah, Warrior Dream launched the personal website. That's great.
But more specific headline. Live coding, friction logs, and new research websites. Key updates from Steve Krause and Warrior Dream. This is hilarious.
That's better. Yeah, certainly better.
I feel like we're getting a sense of what we want to do now. So I think it's time to. I think we should switch over and update our email. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're back in our main Val, and we have our email template. And I think what we want to do is probably after we collect all the tweets, at this point, we can. I'm thinking maybe we should stop grouping them by username so much and just have the template be a flat list first. And then what we can do is kind of go from there and like do a filtering, because the grouping is sort of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Get rid of this and what did we just say? Or I'm too lazy. I'm going to go back to Chat GPT.
Yeah.
I think it was this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is very close. I want you to make the email a flat list instead of group by username. So just loop over results and put the username next to each tweet. And then also, we're going to do a filtering function on the list before we produce the email, which is going to call out to LLM. Just leave the LLM thing sort of stubbed in for now. And that'll be a voice.
It's so meta. You almost want to say the LLM is you, and it's going to use the prompt, like make it such a prompt.
Yeah,
we were just talking about.
Well, I think we're about to get there. I think that's where we're headed next. So we'll copy that new one in here. I might run that just to see what it looks like before we do our next filtering job. Wonderful.
It's so obvious that we need like a tighter integration between these things, so you're not copying and pasting between.
Couldn't agree more. It's interesting though, because it's not just Copilot, right? It's like we're chatting and doing high-level changes. Like the cursor IDE has a pretty good setup for this if you haven't played with it.
Yeah.
I love this loop for tiny functions like this. Oh, really?
Yeah. It has the hooks for it. So really, the question is, where does the chat thing fit in the Val Town interface?
Yeah, that makes total sense. We're in an era of a lot of exploration around that sort of IDE UI. I feel like. Okay, man, we're really close. I don't know if you saw this email, but it looks good to me. Now we just got to do the filtering.
Cool.
I believe you already have a helper for calling OpenAI. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's just the @ symbol again, and then type OpenAI, and then this one's on the standard library. Yeah. Nice.
Standard OpenAI.
And then kind of annoying, but I find it useful to just like copy and paste the example from that Val, because there's like a bit of boilerplate code. OpenAI, like ChatGPT could write it for you. Basically, you have to like construct a new OpenAI client and then do the completion. In the usage section, basically copy.
Yep. So I already got that import. I'll initialize. Do I need to? I can paste this stuff here. The OpenAI client can be initialized outside the function run, right?
Yeah.
And this thing is going to go right in there.
And then
first
let's do
Let's make sure this is working. Wonderful. Is this using your tokens or my tokens? I might have already put in my API key. I forget.
We give some free amount of usage to everyone, so it's using Val Town tokens.
Yeah. Great. That's working. And now all we need to do is ask it to do the task. So I'm thinking we should just do a little string template for now to be simple. And maybe we have it respond with a list of IDs.
Sure. I like the idea of you could do a system prompt is like the main prompt, and then the content could be JSON, and then model response format type JSON object. Give it a go.
There you go. Let's try it. will be given a list of tweets as JSON, and then we can copy over our prompt from our prototype that we did over here. Okay, we can say filter the, I want you to filter the list and return a JSON array of IDs.
I'm not seeing your screen update anymore. I wonder why.
Oh, really? Sometimes this happens. Maybe I'll restart the share.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, I think I'm seeing it on Twitter. It was just like a me problem, not a stream problem.
Okay, I've reshared this so you can.
Yes, great.
Okay. We have our system prompt. Return a JSON array of IDs. The filter criteria are this. That kind of got long, but I think it's sorry, I was trying to zoom. Okay. And then for the content in the message, we can just do, I think just that, right?
Yep.
And then,
oh,
where's the JSON mode? Did you say there's like a?
Yeah.
Well,
response format. Colon type. So it's an object type.
JSON object.
JSON object. Yeah, you got it.
And max tokens, you don't want 30.
Yeah.
Should we see if that works?
Yeah.
Looks good to me. It only gave us two, 175311 and 176365.
That was super fast. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine if that wasn't a thing? Yes, that was the one.
That's an important update. Okay. We're so close now. So we could also have it write a headline, I guess, we said. So plus a headline for the filtered list.
Yeah, give it.
I'll just give it a little,
yeah, nice.
Headline string IDs. Okay.
Nice.
Let's see. The headline should be short for an email subject, like 5 to 7 words, 5 to 10 words.
Include the username and a bit about the tweets you returned.
Just plain. Tease, who said what? With specifics. Let's see what happens. Oh, now it goes to include you in the digest. Look at that. We'll do that. Okay. We can say like maybe 5 words is cramping its style. Oh, now it decided to just do that. Okay, it's pretty volatile here. That's fine. I guess last step is to do our little filtering, and we're almost there. So tweets. Codium should be able to do this.
Yes, it should. Maybe, yeah. If it can, it's because of the test data.
Yeah, right. That's okay. We'll just
maybe just delete the test data for now or something like that. Yeah, you can figure it out.
Well, you know, I'll remember how to program for 10 seconds and finish off the job. So for each tweet, we want to say Does the parsed response.ids include? I think that'll work.
Could you just pop open the console and show me like the console error we're getting from Codium for it's a weird thing doing a live stream, but it would be nice. All right, cool.
I got you. Context canceled.
All right, yeah. Maybe it's just slow. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it would show up eventually. It's just a lot of code. Yeah. Anyways,
let's see. Let's see what happens now. So if I wrote my code correctly, and I forgot to fill in the subject. The subject is. Oh, now I need to return two things from. This, I think that'll work. And let's use that headline in our email. All right, let's see what happens. So I go back to this thing where we're spamming this thread with updates. Actually, probably it'll show up a new email now because
yeah, subject line.
Yeah, I think it will be. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh yeah, it'll be harder to share the email now because it's not deterministic now.
Oh, look, I got an email. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to share this thing.
One option is you could, yeah, nice, you got it. That's good.
Dynamics Lens new research website soon to be launched. It's still showing all our tweets, so I messed up my.
I think maybe you're not using the filtered results in the HTML. Maybe
that's probably it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Rerun it again. I get a different headline. So I'll have to reshare it. There it is. Look at that, Steve.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the only thing that's been tweeted by me or him that's worth noticing in the past.
And I can click this and get the original tweet. Oh man, this is amazing. This is super cool.
That was fun.
And from here, I can
really
add more usernames, add new filters. Yeah.
This has really just been an advertisement for how big of a deal it is that Dynamic Land's new website is coming in the spring.
ChatGPT correctly understood that everything else in the feed paled in comparison. Great.
That is awesome. Cool.
I guess we're
well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, this has been super fun.
We should. I have this new tradition where I have my guests nominate the next victims guests to be on the show. So who do you think would be a good guest?
It's like the bucket challenge or whatever. Let's see. Who should be next? I think you've had a few great people on already, but I'd nominate. I think a few people could be like, you should get Tyler Engert on the show. You should get Mary Rose Cook on the show. I think she would cook up something really cool. You could try to get Amelia Wattenberger. Those people would be really fun to have on.
Nice. Those are great suggestions. Before the show, like I was going to tweet that everyone should watch it. It's going to be lit. And I was like, I don't know how it feels about last name puns, but the fact that you did it with Mary Rose Cook makes me feel better.
It was not intended in the moment, but I realized it as it was happening. I'm always down for a lit pun. I got there first before everyone else.
Yeah, I believe it.
Cool. This is super fun.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, thanks for